Friday on the Audible. Joe, what was that sound effect you just made a second ago?
Which one was that?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah, Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Come on,
Monday
man.
Night
You gotta
Football
get
in
jacked
town.
out. At home?
Huh?
Oh, that's the best.
Hey, Joe, you know what? You've been in that building, Hard Rock Stadium, under the lights, big game.
The best.
Get on their ass a little bit early in the game.
Nothing to
Get
lose. Played them 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
A little payback.
So, Joe, you've been talking to people on your program all week long. By the way, this is the Audible presented by Sirius XM. Kim Bokamper, Joe Rose with you. Joe, you've been talking about it all along. Any advantage, disadvantage? You haven't played this team 2 weeks. It's the same for both teams, other than the fact that they've got to travel down here. And that's not a big deal. But the thought of, is there any advantage one way or another having played twice in 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
I think there is. I do. First of all, for the Dolphins, who lost by 18 the first time around, is adjustments, all the mental mistakes.
Yep.
So you can clean that up. No Rob Gronkowski.
That helps.
Gronk, second best player on their team.
Yep.
He's not
Two
playing.
touchdowns in that game.
Suspended, yeah, and got isolated one-on-one, ends up having a big game for them. And I think the other thing that helps a little bit, Bo, and it's a little thing, New England in the national media already talking about they got a game with Pittsburgh the following week.
Oh, looking ahead a little bit maybe.
So I don't know. I think that stuff does come into play when you're sitting going to go, they're 20-5 they got a 20-5 record without Gronk, who's been injured throughout his career, and they're going and they don't need him, and they got Pittsburgh, and I'm going, wow, they're already talking about Pitt for the best record in the AFC. Well, it's a great chance to grab them.
Yeah, and look, the Dolphins, you got a little confidence. You're coming off a nice win. You feel good about yourself. For whatever reason, I just been thinking about this game, and I like it. I like where it's at. I like where we're at in the season with it. I like the fact that it still carries weight for the Dolphins, because you need to win this game if you want to continue to have a chance to move forward. And I know they're talking about one game at a time. All those types of things. And Joe, like you said, they've just got to find a way to go out there and not beat themselves, especially against that football team. That team's not going to leave the door open very often for you. So when they do, you got to barge through it and make some plays, and you got to turn it into points.
Bo, they got to play a clean game, but honestly, in the NFL, you got to play a clean game anyway. We can't be talking about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 penalties. You can't turn the ball over 3 times, and you can't have a fake punt run against you on your first after you get a 3 and out. Bo, 4th and 9, and they run for 13 yards, and next thing you know, it's 14-0. All those things got to be cleaned up to start with.
No doubt about it. Hey, let me run by some stuff for you here before we get going too far, and we're going to answer your questions and get everything going here. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and send your questions in. Same thing with Periscope. We'll get to your questions. But the Audible is presented, as I said, by Sirius XM. Join the Dolphins Cancer Challenge Sunday for Family Fest at Zoo Miami. If you're in the area, $25 donation to Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center includes zoo admission, kid-friendly bike ride, food and beverage, and access into the festival. Help us tackle cancer. Over $22 million, $22.5 million, Joe, so far in 7 years has been raised by the Dolphins Cancer Challenge. And I know not everyone that's watching us is in the local market, but I tell you, if you want to make a difference with cancer and you want to come down to South Florida in February, I'm not sure what the date is, but we can get that to you mid-February or whatever. Yeah. Come on down, jump on a bike, walk 5 miles, do whatever, 5K. Well, I don't know how far is 5K, Joe.
I knew you were going to ask.
It's less than 5 miles. Is it more?
Bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad jog or walk. I did the walk last
So
week.
Anyway, it'd be a nice time for you to come down here. You get to go to Hard Rock Stadium, see the concert after. The Goo Goo Dolls are going to be in concert, and some other band that, quite frankly, I've never heard of is going to be there. But yeah, it'd be a good vacation down to Miami, raise some money for a good cause, and do that. Also, Miami Dolphins partner with Miami Dolphins also partner with Toys for Tots to deliver the magic of holidays to less fortunate children in South Florida. Bring a new unwrapped toy to the game on December 11th to support the Marines Toys for Tots program. Drop-off locations will be at designated areas at the southeast and northeast gates of the stadium. So really 2 good things. One for cancer, one Toys for Tots. And Joe, it's the holiday season, and nothing better than to help make sure that somebody that really can't afford to have the type of Christmas that we're fortunate enough to have gets to have a Christmas that they can enjoy, and the parents can make sure that their kids get the feel for it. So it's a good time of year, it really is a great time of year, the holiday season, and these are a couple of good opportunities to help raise some funds.
Always enjoyable. I think you agree. The last few weeks in December,
Yep.
leading into the new year, it's a good time. Everybody's in a good mood, and it is a great opportunity to give to the less unfortunate.
So, Joe, what's been the trash talk? Give me the week of trash talk on the Joe Rose Show
All right,
on
you ready?
560 WQAM, 6 to 10, Monday through Friday here in South Florida.
I'm going social media / regular radio shows. Here we go. Devontae Parker.
Yep.
3 games going through just an awful funk right now.
Little surprising Devontae stepped forward and said, hey, I haven't been playing well.
I was point blank, even my effort going after the ball, I think apparently it was clear to me that the coaches said, listen, even if you can't catch it, all these interceptions when the ball's thrown to you, as our biggest, most athletic receiver we have, is not acceptable. So he said some of it was tough love, some of it was just, come on, man, we got to get you going. Well, he's under contract for the next couple years. He's not going anywhere. No. He's a better player than we're seeing. I know some people mentioned he might be a bust. I don't think he's a bust.
We've seen too many good plays, and we've seen some consistent good play early in the season out of Devontae Parker. To call him, look, he's in a slump. I mean, like a baseball player, he's in a slump right now. And you know what? The one thing I like, Joe, he's not hiding from it. He's not saying, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
He owns it. Said, look, you're right. I've got to play better. And I think you're going to see him go to him early and often in this football game to try to make that happen.
Bo, there's actually been some positive. Kenyon Drake, Kenny Stills, Jarvis Landry. There's been some real nice stories. Jesse Davis looks like he's going to be the future on this offensive line at one.
Sam Young played pretty well against
Sam Young.
Again,
nice story. Right tackles really played well. Probably going to play right tackle again.
Now Von Miller pushed him around, pushed him a little bit, but he kept him at bay. Kept
him
kept Jay on his feet and allowed him to throw the football. And I think he's going to test Devontae Parker this week early on. See what he's all about.
Yeah, and Bo, you hit on it before we started. The mental mistakes, and the penalties and the turnovers. That combination, they just can't have. The numbers are what they are to this point of season, but you got a chance over the last 4 weeks to clean it up. And, Bo, I think if they can clean those things up, and if you get beat, physically you're going to get beat, and people are going to make plays, but when you kill yourself by making mental mistakes after you go over them all week and you don't know what your assignment is, that's a little disappointing.
It is, no doubt about it. And look, you can look at the Raider game and you look at the Tampa game and say those are 2 games that were certainly winnable football games that you lost because you gave those games away through penalties, through turnovers, for mental errors, all those types of things. The only reason you lost those games, Joe, is self-inflicted wounds. And look, 2 games, you flipped those 2 games from losses. You're 7-5 right now.
Right.
You're feeling pretty damn good about where you're at.
Position and everything, but you're right. Those penalties, Bo, when you have a lot of penalties, usually that means some big plays have called back. And sure enough, in the 2 games you've talked about, 2 40-yard plays have been called back. A touchdown by a tight end was called back. And you can't make that. You just can't. You're not good enough to overcome that as a football team. But if you play clean, and Bo, look at the numbers on the teams that are struggling. Turn the ball over. Denver's a great example. They're like 27 turnovers right now. Bo, 27. You're talking more than 2 turnovers a game.
Yeah, how do you that? Well,
that's hard to overcome.
You turn the ball over 2 times a game, you end up like the Denver Broncos right now.
Right.
Oh, a bad football team.
Hey, Saints last night, Thursday night football, 11 penalties, had plays called back.
It does. There's no doubt about it. Let's go to some questions here. Facebook, Chris Blue, welcome back, Bo. Missed one day. Glad to be back. Sorry I missed Wednesday. Just had other stuff to do, Joe.
Well, you're okay, though.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. Just other stuff to do. Periscope from Coy Vega 13. Hey, Bo and Joe, will we ever wear the all-white throwback jerseys? Well, I know this, Joe, and the one thing I always used to love, because we only have one uniform. We didn't have the different uniforms, the multiple uniforms. But I know this. Every time I walked in that locker room in the Orange Bowl and I saw those Aqua jerseys hanging on my hook, I knew it was a big game. Yeah. I knew it was a big game. It was time to go out and make sure you played it at its best.
Definitely my favorite, the old Aqua. I'm with you. No question. I know Jimmy Cefalo brought this point up for 1 o'clock games, not this game coming up, but for 1 o'clock when it's super hot. Why not wear all white?
Whites.
and let them put colored uniforms on and sweat a little bit
I used
more.
to love the all-white uniforms too. By the way, I liked our whole uniform package. It was white and white.
Yeah.
It was white and white or white and aqua. That was it. So it wasn't many options we had.
You didn't get to wear that all orange uniform we had on
no,
Thursday night?
No. Geez, I was I'm very depressed that I didn't get a chance to wear that creamsicle uniform that they wore up in Cincinnati there a couple years.
That thing was put away, never to be worn again.
Then there was the one before where they wore when it was real orange. They wore all orange, and I think it was Tim Bones was wearing. He looked like a pumpkin out there with the all orange thing on.
Let's get rid of that.
Green on the hat. Yeah.
Let's go back to some of our more traditional stuff.
By the way, DCC is February 10th. So if you're thinking about if you're out of town and you're thinking about a vacation, February 10th would be a good weekend to come down here and get involved in the DCC, the bicycle, the cancer challenge, and go ahead and do that. Joe, you talk about Jesse Davis. Jesse Davis in the last month has really become a valuable asset for this football team. He's a guy who can play every position other than center, and who knows, maybe he can play center. I don't know that, but he's shown his ability to play either guard position. He's played right tackle, could play left tackle, and really has become a guy that I think this coaching staff and this offensive line group are counting on throughout the rest of the season.
Well, he's starting to play. He's played so much right guard because of Bushrod's injury that he's getting comfortable in that, and people are going, hey, this guy been kind of hanging around, kind of always been a tough, strong, long guy, and now he's getting a chance to play. And, Bo, once you get confidence that you can play and you have success against guys you're playing against, you create a monster. And he's getting there. Now it's fun to say, is he going to be the future at right guard or a right tackle?
You know, it's funny, Joe. I remember when I first came in the league, and when you first came in the league, and you come in and you don't know what to expect, man.
Right.
You know, especially I played at San Jose State. We're playing, Fresno State, Long Beach State, University of Pacific, all those powerhouses out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to match up when you come in the NFL. And you know when I knew I could play in the NFL? I remember the moment. It was, I don't know how many games into my rookie season. And I come over, and it's me, A.J. Dewey, Doug Betters, and Bob Baumhauer. And Bob and one of them goes, hey, how's that guy you're playing against? I go, he stinks. He stinks. And then I caught myself. I go, wait a minute.
Wow, that's great.
I'm in the NFL going, I'm playing against a guy now. I'm saying the guy stinks,
Yeah.
and he's a pretty damn good player.
Right.
If he's playing in this league, he's pretty damn good. But that's you talk about confidence. You built that confidence, and it comes with those kind of things.
And it comes from getting playing time and getting an opportunity. Jesse Davis started the year rotating a little bit on the short end at left guard, and now has worked his way in because of injury. And showing this coaching staff that he's now in the future plans.
So let me ask you this. Xavier Howard's game last week, 2 interceptions, played very good in that game.
He needed that.
He needed that game.
He needed.
Does he build off that game?
Oh, yeah, I think his confidence right now. Well,
got to be at all-time high right now.
When you hear, and Tankersley's going through it on the other side as a rookie, and he's a little nicked up right now, but our corners had 0 between Tankersley and the other side, Xavier Howard, 0 interceptions. Talking about a hell of a drought for 2 guys that have played that much football. So for Xavier Howard to get those 2 interceptions, 1 a pick 6, I mean, all of a sudden you look at the stat. You got 2 now. You got a pick 6 in there. Got to help him and his confidence a lot. Loved the way he went against a big, strong Thomas, Demarius Thomas. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, and I think for him, that cornerback position, you got to be you got to have a certain mentality there that you got to have the guts, you got to have the willingness to attack the football, to take a chance, to jump a guy knowing that if I don't get this ball, he's going to catch it, and chances are he's going to take it to the house, and we're going to be down 7. But you got to develop that confidence that you're going to go after the football, and I think even just that one play for X gives him that confidence where I think we're going to see more of that aggressiveness that I think the coach has been waiting to see out of him.
Well, I think playing that position more than any other position in football, you got to have a completely different makeup. You got to be cocky. When you do get beat, you got to let it go right away. You can't let it. You can't let it hang around the rest of the game or for 3 games or 4 games and get you in a funk. You got to go. He got lucky. Let's do it again. I don't believe you can, and you got to have that kind of confidence. I always think of Sam Madison first, who's one of the most confident dudes I've ever seen in bump and run. Yeah,
no doubt. Hey, Joe, we're in the bubble here. They're getting ready for the Dolphins' annual holiday party coming up this weekend, And so they got a lot of the young ladies that work for the Dolphin organization in the bubble setting this up, and I don't see Trey anywhere around here. Trey's down there trying to sweet talk.
It's amazing.
He's down there trying to sweet
talk. Usually Trey's always down here, and now he saw about 15 or 20 of the younger women here in the organization. Now he wants to help them.
Last time I looked down there, he's not helping, but he's dancing. He's putting on a little show for. He's trying to. He's got the Trey show going on down there.
It's a waste of time.
Well, it is.
Got no shot, but
Well, we were talking to him a little before. He said, "You know what? You better throw your personality out there because you got a lot of shortcomings to overcome with some of those girls there. So your personality better be on high revenue."
And I go, "Bo, watch Trey over there.
He talks a big game. He's a little
quiet in the big nightclub. He's a little quiet under the big lights.
He's kind of like that old NFL, that looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane."
Yeah,
he talks like
Tarzan. Great practice player.
He talks like Tarzan.
Great practice player.
No doubt about it. All right, Joe. Big game. New England Patriots coming to town. Your best memory of Monday Night Football?
Oh man, the first one was I still remember OJ.
Yeah.
And we had Cosell doing the game. That was a good group. And seeing those guys out there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you see those guys walk out and you go, this is back when your announcers really, they were a bigger part of especially with that big personality. You're like, wow.
I did an event. I did an event, and someone asked me about Monday Night Football, and I said the same thing. And my first Monday Night Football game, I'm trying to think where we were. I think we may have been in Buffalo for that game, or Baltimore, somewhere like that. Anyway, I remember walking through the hotel lobby, and there was Howard Cosell. And at the time, it was Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, and Frank Gifford, which was when Monday Night Football was Monday Night Football. Everyone played on Sunday, and there was one Monday night game.
There was no Sunday night game.
No Sunday night game. And Monday night was must-see TV, right? I mean, if it was a sport, bars were packed. If you had a TV at your bar or restaurant, you were packed on Monday night. Yeah. Everyone wanted to get out and see it. And so I'm walking around, and I see Howard Cosell. And I'm thinking to myself, man, there's Howard Cosell. I said, should I go say hello to him, or should I said, to hell with it. I'm going to go say hello. So I go, hey, Mr. Cosell, Kim. He goes, Kim Bokamper, number 88, San Jose State University. And he went down my body. He went through top to bottom. And I'm just sitting there going, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Awesome.
My first Monday Night Football game against the Jets, or at least the one I remember as a rookie, because we always seemed to play the Jets on a Monday Night Football game, caught a touchdown, and it got called back. And it got called back. And I was like, and I didn't even care, Bo.
Yeah.
Because I knew
I still got to touch.
That thing was on TV. Yeah. I still jumped up.
Replays. They had replays of it and the whole thing. So,
I didn't care. It got called back. I could care less. I was like, that's all that mattered. It was great.
I remember my first Monday night game because I threw up on Raymond Chester. It was against the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
Raymond put his hand down in the stand. I threw up on his hand.
Right there on the hand?
I puked right in his hand. He couldn't lift up his hand because it would have been a 5-yard penalty.
We don't have cameras like they do today.
Yeah.
But I remember a lot of guys, especially for those 1 o'clock games at the Orange Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And back then, guys weren't exactly real healthy anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of guys puked.
A lot of blowing chow.
Second half, dehydrated.
Yeah.
Whatever they were eating or drinking the night before would come out. And these guys now, Bo, they take care of themselves. They got nutritionists. They're eating broccoli.
They don't have anyone in the locker room smoking cigarettes, doing all that kind of stuff. It's a different thing.
You guys can't make it for the second half of the game. You don't see that.
I remember playing the one of the first times we played against the Colts, and they had Walter Payton. And that was when that was before the Colts were, the Bears. That was before the Bears were going to Super Bowls. And I remember their offensive line, Noah Jackson, Reeve Sori, 2 guys on the right side where I was playing. They were both about 310. Their body fat was probably about 70%, right? They were just big fat guys. And at the end of the first half, at probably about maybe 30 seconds to go in the first half, they broke the huddle. Both of them turned around and simultaneously bent over and puked on the ground before they even got to the line of scrimmage. And I looked over at Doug, and we go, hey, game's over. That's it. And they were in their all black jerseys.
Oh, no.
It was 1 o'clock on a Sunday in the Orange Bowl, sun beaten down, hot as could be, and they were done.
You
done.
do see teams wiped out when they play down here.
Yes.
They wear down, but, Bo, not like at the old Orange Bowl.
No.
Where guys would go out and have a few beers the night before. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
Guys aren't going out having a few beers and maybe staying out a little bit and eating the way they used to eat.
I'd like it to be a little warm and humid on Monday night, but it looks like it's going to be a little nice and chilly. We got a cold front coming in here, right?
Yeah, I think
and then,
you're right.
Look at Trey made it back because he got shut out. He got shut out down
He did
the
work
other
it. He went down at least for a little scouting report. No, that's right.
Yeah, there was nothing there for me.
Yeah.
There was nothing there for
I
me.
want to get back here. I didn't want to be over there. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, where are we at here, Joe? Oh, I lost the call. Here we go. Oh, we got injury report. Let's get the injury report here. Logan, I was a little lax on this thing. Bushrod didn't practice. He's not going to play. Matt Morefoot, he probably's not going to play. Cordray Tankersley, interesting, Joe, because he went out with the injury, hurt his shoulder first, went out with the ankle, came back, and was being used on punt returns, not punt team, on punt returns, but didn't go back in as a cornerback because Bobby McCain was playing so well on the outside. So they figured Michael Thomas, knee, didn't practice. Damian Williams, shoulder, he's not going to play for a while. He didn't practice. Limited was Devin Gotch on knee. I would expect him to play.
Yes.
Mike Pouncey, hip. I would expect him to play. Full practice in Dominican Sue. Cam Wake didn't practice, but not injury related. He'll be ready to play. So, look, everybody's banged up. Everyone's got hurt players. They got Gronk out. One of their defensive linemen is probably out for the game. So everybody's got – I got to get this, though. Periscope, Black Man Game. Trey's providing the energy for the ladies, keeping them motivated. You keeping them motivated out there, Trey?
Oh, there you go.
Huh?
Now we got people checking in to tell you what's your motivation, helping everybody. That's good. That's real good.
Periscope, Fins for Life. I think if we win the turnover battle, we'll win this game. What do you guys think? I would give you this. If you win the turnover battle and Kenyon Drake can rush for over 100 yards, I think you win the game. I think that's the combination to win this football game.
All right. Let me just say, and obviously, yes, if they've turned the ball over 8 times all year.
Yep.
Every year, the one thing New England
But
Patriots,
they turned the ball over twice against the Dolphins 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they did. No, we got the bad snap and he threw an interception.
And you got a Bobby McCain
interception. But you're right. If we can get some of that and we can do something with it.
Yeah.
We had great field position, Bo, last week.
Yeah.
We will never get field position. We started every drive.
Every drive in the second half was at or near the 50-yard line.
It was crazy.
43, 48, 34.
One side or the other.
One side or the other.
Great, yeah.
Incredible. Do you think it's time to move on from Tannehill? Jason SM 3831 from Periscope. Guy's been rehabbing and you want to throw him over the bus.
Ryan Tannehill will be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins next year.
I would say this, Joe, and I could very well be wrong, but I think if Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback all season long, this team's in a much better position than they are right now. I think Ryan is perfect for this offense with Adam Gase because I think he gives you we certainly saw last year his ability to throw the ball downfield, make the big play, but I think he's got that conservative nature to him where he's not going to do anything crazy. He gives you the running game, he gives you the read option, the run pass opportunity.
Right.
You really don't have with Cutler or with Matt Moore.
Nope.
So that brings that to the game. And I just think Ryan Tannehill is a perfect fit for this kind of offense. Now, whether he comes back and is ready for OTA's mini camp or even the start of training camp, which I think is still in question, is a different subject.
I expect in September next year for Ryan Tannehill to be the starting quarterback.
Yep.
The other question will be, and going to be a lot of time for this, do they draft a quarterback in the first few rounds?
Yep.
I don't think they'll do it in the first round, but will they
I wouldn't be surprised in the third round. I don't think – look, I hate to get into drafting, but – the one thing I'm looking for.
I baited you.
Go to one of those. Go get one of those Stanford tight ends. It's 6'6", 245, 255 pounds that can run down the field and catch. First or second round, I'd love to see that. And I got a message from somebody because I said it. Damn it, draft a freaking guard, man. Draft a guard that can come in here and play that you don't have to worry about.
Right. Fill
up that position. And I know it's not a popular choice, and I know it's. But everyone's going, no, you don't want to draft a guard. Well, it's been what? How many years, Joe? 3 years, 4 years?
Constant.
We've been looking for guards.
Right.
And we're trying to find that acorn under the tree and all that. Well, go get someone that's not an acorn.
Right.
Go get someone that's a block of granite in there that's not going to go anywhere.
You can put in day one.
Yep.
And he can hold his own, and he's only going to get better.
No one wants that. I'm just saying. Periscope, is there such a thing as a carryover from game to game with momentum? Well, I certainly think for this football team, Joe, this football team had lost 5 games in a row prior to last week, and it was a down football team. I mean, the mood around this building was tough. There was a sense that, what do we got to do?
Right.
We keep shooting ourselves in the foot. We're to blame for a lot of this because we're hurting ourselves. And then it's funny what a difference one game win. Now everyone's upbeat.
Yeah.
There's a bounce to their step. There's optimism. They've got some confidence. And so, yeah, I do think one game can help, but you can't go back to what you did the games prior to that, where you turned the ball over on multiple times, created multiple penalties that took big plays away from you, stopped drives or allowed them to continue drives. You can't do that, and especially not against this football team.
I'll say one thing that I've been impressed with, and I give Adam Gase credit because I've also heard a lot of criticism about Adam Gase right now. He's kept this team together.
Yep.
There's been no bickering. They're playing hard. I know he's got this line that drives fans nuts. Oh, we're practicing great.
Yep.
We're just not taking it on the field. But we saw last week they're not quitting. I saw a Denver team that's boy, that's how coaches get fired. The game that they played, and yet our guys played like they were an 8 or 9 win team last week. And so that says a lot about our head coach that they're still playing hard. He still got them in there with the guys he has on this football team, both veteran and young guys. I'm just looking for guys to get better, Bo. Play off the Bobby McCain, Xavier Howard, the Jesse Davises. We got to get Devontae going. I'm really curious, as a guy that calls the plays as well as the head coach, Adam Gase, how he handles and what he's able to get Devontae Parker. They want to get Devontae Parker going before this year's over so he doesn't have an off season of funk and answering questions.
You're watching the Audible presented by Sirius XM. Let's go back here. Bo, I had a weird dream. We drafted Lamar Jackson. What do you think?
I love Lamar.
Yeah, he's a great.
He's got a cannon for an arm.
He's had a pretty quiet. He's kind of been in the background when all the Heisman, but he's one of 3 guys back up there for the Heisman Trophy presentation this year.
Bo, Louisville for me, even though they end up not having the year like they did the year before. I love watching him. He's another guy. He's one of those few college guys, and that when he's playing, you got to watch. For his running as much as watching that throw, he flips it. Next thing you know, 65, 70 yards down the field.
He got a little of that Michael Vick kind
I'm
of
really
throwing
curious to see
ability.
where he goes in the draft.
Where number-wise.
Yeah.
Right?
I think this quarterback class is going to be fun to watch.
It is.
Whichever guy you might be sold on to see how they play out.
El Chapo Jr., you guys anticipate any fireworks from Bobby McCain after the last meeting with Danny Amendola out there? I wouldn't mind seeing it, Joe. I don't want anything cheap.
Kicked out of the game.
I don't want to get kicked out of the game, but you know what? You can't let a team come in and push you around. You can't come and let a team think that, hey, we're bigger, badder than you, and you're not going to retaliate. And I'm not talking about throwing an elbow. I'm not talking about throwing punches. But you know what? Guy does you dirty, you do him a little dirty back, That's all I'm talking about.
Well, one thing Bobby McCain I do know, he ain't backing down from anybody. No. I've seen it 2 years in a row when he plays especially against the Patriots, Amendola, or any of the rest of those guys. He doesn't back down. He loves the challenge, plays hard. He's just got to be smart, and you can't throw an elbow or a punch.
Yeah, no.
Especially at the head.
Well, and especially what happened with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati the other night. You got to figure that these referees at every game are on high alert.
Right.
And let's get that out of the game. That stuff needs to go. And so let's so I would assume there's going to be, and if you're the coach, I would say, hey, look, play hard, play tough, be tough out there, but be smart about what you're doing.
I am sure, Bo, that the NFL, every team, was sent a memo from the National Football League, clean it up, or we're going to start suspending guys. 3 this week. I don't care how many. We're not going this way. We're dealing with concussions. We're dealing with brain damage down the road. Not doing it, or you guys can pay all these lawsuits.
Finish it up with Facebook. Antonio Salas. Jarvis Landry keeps showing what he can do for this team. When's he going to get an extension? Fins up from Costa Rica. I got Costa Rica there.
Good place to be.
It is.
Good place.
Look, I think you agree with me. I want to see Jarvis Landry on this team for a long time. I just think he's the energy that really gets this team going. And look, he certainly have some things that you'd like to see him clean up a little bit, but that enthusiasm, that motor, what he brings to the table, I'd have him on my team. If I could find 10 Jarvis Landrys, I'd have 10 of them on my team.
In a heartbeat. I would just say this. I love the Jarvis Landry that plays inside the numbers.
Yep.
I'm not big on the Jarvis Landry that plays outside.
Right.
I love him inside. I think he's as good as anybody in football. He's tough. He makes tough catches. He does things, and he's one of the leaders of this team that you don't usually see when you talk about a wide receiver being one of the leaders.
Yeah.
But he's one of the guys they look up to, and I'm with you, Bo. I want him back, and I hope they can come to some type of agreement to get him signed here.
Trey, come here for a second, man. Get Trey over here. Come on, we got to wrap up the show. We only got about 30 seconds left. I'm going to let Trey.
You're not going to say bad things.
No. We're going to wrap up the show for us, Trey. Remember to say, we're sponsored by our good friends at Sirius XM, the Audible.
I'm not wrapping up the show.
Yeah, you are.
No, I just wanted to show face real quick. Just for you.
You know what? Go ahead and do it.
Give me your best
a serious.
There it is. Trey Bien, my friends.
What was
Trey.
that? Oh, boy, that's going to bring them in. That's going to bring the ladies in right there.
Oh.
Tell you what, he's a little bit of an entertainer.
He got a little
though.
show going. He got a little show
bit of an
going.
Entertainer.
Yeah. What do you say about that?
That's hard to beat.
That's
right
it.
there.
That's all we got. We ain't got no more. We'll see you next time.